Hey guys.
Oh, hey y'all. Welcome to a good night out. Give it up for yourselves for coming out tonight.
Also, I'm Deric.
I'm Lorenzo.
He doesn't look like Lorenzo at all.
Thanks, buddy. Merry Christmas, you guys. Merry Christmas.
You're that crowd.
Whoa.
Awesome.
You guys are coming with some fucking heat. Oh, man.
Lorenzo, what's the worst gift you got for Christmas? Oh, you're Jewish. What's the worst?
Being Jewish.
Yeah. What's the worst gift you got?
I mean, like you just said, I've never gotten one before. Why'd you ask it a second time?
Well, did you get any gifts in December?
Oh, for Hanukkah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were the gifts?
Embroidered yarmulkes, fancy menorahs. What do you want from me?
I wanted a talking point to riff on.
I love Christmas. I love Christmas. It was the theme of my bar mitzvah.
Anyone have like a story for the worst gift?
Yeah, and if you have any shitty gifts, yell out. Just fucking go. No, whoa. Socks? You don't got cold feet?
It wasn't me, but my sister got a 6-month subscription to Weight Watchers once.
Whoa, that's so mean. Holy.
Did she say she wanted it?
And did she use it?
No, she did not use it either. She kind of threw it in the trash.
Who gave that to her?
My mom.
There's nothing I can say here that.
Yeah, that's crazy depressing. I like that we brought out mugs like we're trying to sip hot cocoa,
Yeah.
but it's certainly just water. It's certainly just a prop to make us feel like we're on one of those 50s comedy specials, like those Christmas things, except we don't yell at women.
Lorenzo's been quoting 50s jokes all day. Can you give us one?
I hate women. All right, that's it. I mean, that's really the gist of comedy back then, if you didn't notice. Yeah?
We should prepare a bit. I think so.
Yeah, we should have prepared a bit. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really thought like your gift of like, you want to talk about being Jewish?
Sure. Here's the thing about being like a young Jewish boy is that no one tells you that Santa isn't real. So when I learned that he didn't give us presents, I just thought Santa was an anti-Semite. What? All I knew is that he didn't deliver to Jews or the people who celebrated Kwanzaa. So, of course, I thought he was a racist anti-Semite. Whenever I heard that he wasn't real, I was just like, good, another bigot struck from this world. Klaus, that's a German last name. What are you atoning for?
So backstage, I was trying to get Lorenzo to wear, to be Black Peter. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's the, you wanted to put me in blackface?
Yeah, I did.
I think we once.
Okay. Wow, it's a weird vibe right now.
It's our fault.
Can we get someone on stage?
Oh yeah, we can get, are you guys ready to start a goddamn comedy show? Alright, that was good, but let's do one more. Are you guys ready to start the goddamn show? Alright, please welcome to the stage. She's hilarious. Please welcome Lena Kinney.
Hey guys, what's poppin'? How's it going? What's up? Good. Hey. Alright, so I'm just gonna get started. So I always thought it'd be like super cool to be a serial killer. Just me? Okay. Like luring people into my van. And like, I live on East Carson Street, so I kind of just have like an endless sea of victims. I'd be like, hey guys, there's rumple mints and cocaine in my car. And they'd be like, oh, we're coming. I'm like, no, one at a time, one at a time. time. And you know, I've seen every episode of Law & Order SVU and Criminal Minds, and you know, Ice-T has prepared me for this moment. Hours and hours of research. And you know, I pretty much know everything to do not to get caught. But if I did, I think I'd like to be my own lawyer like Ted Bundy. Because I'm charismatic and like kind of cute. So like maybe I'd get away with it. But if I didn't, I figured, you know, I'd just get like a cute nerdy boyfriend who'd like defend me to the end. And like he'd maintain my innocence and like write like really positive blog posts about me. And then, you know, every once in a while we'd have like a conjugal visit after I slip, you know, the security guard a crisp $20 bill from one of my admirers. But that's just a fantasy. You know, I wouldn't kill anyone for real, like not really. Like not really, you know, because like God would be real mad at me. And, you know, anytime I'm in a room over 80 degrees, I get real sweaty, but you know, I'm Jewish, so I don't really have to worry about hell. You know, it is my season of solitude, so this is the time of year where I like to lay under my covers and watch Law & Order SVU, as I have previously stated. You know, one night I was particularly bored and lonely, so I figured I'd hit up one of my shorties. Like, I was like, hey, come over, come through. And then I realized I really didn't feel like sharing my twin bed that night. So I just hit him with like, well, reliable. I was like, you know, I'm sorry, but my mom said no. And he was like, yeah, but Lena, you're 25 and you have your own apartment. I'm like, yeah, well, she still said no. Like, I'm a good girl. I play by the rules. You know, I do what I can. Here's a fun fact for you guys. Polar bears weigh about 200 pounds at birth. Hey, making them the biggest babies besides straight white males who feel oppressed. All right. So, I don't date men anymore. I just kind of foster them until they find their forever homes. See a rescue. I used to have him just like that, you know, but he kept pissing on my floor, so he had to go. So you date a group of guys, sorry. You date a guy, and you know, he introduces you to his group of friends. Do you like get to pick again? I feel like it's only fair. I just entered the wrong boyfriend raffle. Like, I had $5. That's not a problem. Like, you never know, baby. Your homeboy could be a soulmate, you know? Sometimes you gotta mix it up. It's not a big thing. You know what I mean? Alright? Because, you know, when you think about it, like, men as a concept are fine, but, like, the execution is just fucking horrible. I don't know who's handling your guys' PR, but like, someone needs to call Kris Jenner right now. Y'all need some help. You are not doing amazing, sweetie. You know what I mean? One time my ex-boyfriend tweeted, he was like, where the hell was that? And I was like, hey, you know, you subtweeted me on that. I caught it. And he was like, you know, baby, I'm just asking to know to stay away from that area. I was stupid then. But you know. So I'm from a place called Penn Hills. Hey! Light Skin Factory. So Penn Hills is pretty much like the suburbs, but it's the suburbs that like people move to like when they move out of the hood. So it's like drug dealers with Pomeranians in backyards. So you know, eventually I had to learn how to fight because all these hood girls were coming to my school. And so I was like, the best place to start all healthy activity is in the home. So I just started like beating up my brother all the time. And this is when he was like video game and Cheeto eating, you know, pretty squishy. And you know, he used to try and defend himself with anything he could, like Batman action figures, a broom, feather duster. Not effective. And then one day he just turned 16 and he went from like chubby bunny to fucking Ric Flair overnight. And he put me in a chokehold, and I was like, I don't want to play with you guys anymore. So then I was like, okay, I still gotta fuck with him, so I guess I'll just like try alternative methods. Like he was like, hey Lena, I'm voting for the Green Party. I'm like, that's not real. Or he'd be like, you know, I'm bringing my girlfriend over for dinner, and I'm like, we're gonna beat her up after dessert. Or, you know, just like drugging him at family parties so everyone has fun. And, you know, he's got some issues now, and that may or may not be because of me. I guess we'll never know, but, you know, it's the little things. So, I prepared for tonight. I know. I shaved my entire body. Y'all ever shave your whole body? You be feeling Bradley Cooper limitless out here, alright? You just feel like you can do anything. You'll be like, hey baby, can I suck your toe? I'm like, yeah, I just shaved my whole body. You'll be like, Lena, you wanna go rob a bank? I told you I just shaved my whole body. They'll be like, Lena, you wanna abandon life as you know it and join the priesthood? Be my little dumb bitch. And I'll be like, I just fucking told you I shaved my whole body. How many times do I have to repeat myself? And then, you know, you ever shave your whole body and like nothing happens? I'm ready to knock someone's top loose. You know? I don't know. It's a lot of work, but I didn't nick my clip for no reason. You know? Do I have any millennials, Gen X's in the audience? We depressed. No, we are depressed. We are sad. And we're not procreating for several reasons. One, the rainforest is dying, y'all. I know y'all like Nutella, but palm oil is dangerous. Fun facts. Two, I don't want to live in a world without polar bears. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something I want to do. And how am I going to explain to my children? They'll be like, Mom, what's this movie, Happy Feet, you keep playing on a loop? And I'll be like, you know, there used to be these animals, little birds that dressed up in formal wear and did dance and song numbers. I don't want to talk about it. Oh, God. And, you know, based on my dating pattern, there's no way I'm having children out of wedlock. And not that that's going to happen anytime soon, before my eggs dried up. So, because I need that alimony check. I need more than, you know, child support. I want to take gymnastics class too. You know, I'm flexible. I'm going to leave y'all with this one. So, how many of y'all have ever spent the night at a young man's house? Just me? I'm the big whore here, whatever. So, you know, you wake up, it's the ass crack of dawn, the sunshine of denial hits your face ever so softly. There's dried semen on your leg. You think to yourself, I deserve a shower. It's my third time over here. Because, you know, I don't make up the rules. It's 3 times for a shower, 5 times for a shit, okay? You gotta space these things out. You gotta respect his space. The same way he respects your body. That's a joke. Anyway. So you walk into the bathroom, you know, dim lighting, green tile, I don't know. Pubic hair, strange colors lining the toilet. You know what I'm talking about. Strange colors lining the toilet, and you think to yourself, you know, it's not going to be that bad. I'm going to get clean real soon. And you go into the shower, middle knob is missing, and you're like, it's okay, that's what this wrench is for. And you know, you look over to your towel, it's a little stiff, frayed on the edge, you know, right now. Frayed on the edge, and you're like, no, it's fine, it's not over. But it is over, because you look over and the only thing to wash with is Suave 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. How many of y'all have been victims of a shampoo shower? Please raise your hands. Thoughts and prayers, y'all. Thoughts and prayers. And I just want to say this, okay? Because I'm sick of this shit, alright? Irish Spring is the Four Loko of soaps, okay? Nobody likes the right? Even it strips your skin. You know, I got sensitive skin. And if you plan on staying with this man for the whole winter, next semester, snuggly season, tell him you deserve better. You deserve Dove Sensitive. You deserve body scrub. You body scrub, bitch, Don't let nobody take it different. Alright. Anywho, my name is Lita. I hope you'll have a real sexy night.
Everyone, give it up for her one more time. Do you have any funny stories from Christmas?
Yeah, I have one. I was dating this girl, and I went over her house on Christmas. And
Hi, Sky. Thank you so much for coming to Liberty Magic. Where am I?
Still City Theater.
In the middle of a comedy show.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm so sorry. Let me just I didn't mean to interrupt. I guess the Uber just took me to the wrong place. Let me just get out of your hair.
You want to do some tricks? Some magic tricks?
I love.
You guys want to see some magic tricks?
I love magic. One time, David Blaine spent 3 months inside my stomach as an endurance test.
If you guys insist. Hi, everyone, Sky. Thank you so much for coming to my show, Heavenly Magic with Moon Sky. Could I get a volunteer from the audience, please? Someone raise your hand. Anyone? Don't worry, I don't bite. I have all my shots. Yes, you. Hello, hello. I saw that. Bonnie? Mommy, hello. Mommy, so nice to meet you. All right, and we have never met before, correct?
Yeah, Mom.
Awesome. Monty. Can I tell you a story? Do not sit down. Alright, so my grandfather was also a magician, and he threw the wildest parties, and he always kept the guest list on a deck of cards. See, he had exactly 52 guests. He was a very selective man, Peter was there, Tom was there, David was an alcoholic, and people had to keep an eye on him. Josie made terrible food, but my grandfather thought she was a slam piece, so she came. Casey came. Casey and Josie were good friends, and Casey would post passive-aggressive Facebook statuses if she wasn't invited. And Zach with a C was there, Zach with a CH was there, and so was Zach with a CK, same with the Zoes. Zoe with a Y, Zoe with a weird umlaut, and then just Zoe missing the Y. Anyway, my grandfather, even though he had 52 specific guests, he always said, Moon Sky, my sweet, sweet grandchild. Sometimes there would be a joker who would come. And Mooney, do you know? Monty, I'm so sorry.
Oh, really?
One time someone called me Uranus instead of Moon. Anyway, that joker was... You're not Timothy Chalamet, are you?
I don't think so.
Your name was supposed to be on there. I'm so sorry. Everyone give a round of applause! Okay. Again, we're just getting warmed up. It's 40 degrees in Pittsburgh. It was sunny today. We're just getting started. All right. Does anyone in the audience have a dollar? Does anyone in the audience have a dollar? One single dollar. A whole American $1 if you have a 20 that doesn't. All right, hello, good sir. Please come on stage. All right, sir. What? Hold on, you're getting a little too excited. All right, what is your name?
My name is Ron.
Ron, and we've never met before, correct?
Correct.
All right, Ron, did you know that in the United States of America, it is a federal offense to deface a dollar? For example, you aren't allowed to write on a dollar or...
I was aware of that.
But Ron, with the power of a couple folds and prestidigitation, your dollar will be again.
Should have given you 4 quarters.
Yeah, but it's harder. The trick's harder with 4 quarters. Anyway, just don't tell the government this happened. Okay?
Hey, thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Give a round of applause for Ron. You know what? You guys came for like some real Curse Angel mind freak stuff, right? Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna swallow a penny and I'm gonna make it come out of my arm. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. All right. Yeah. Here goes a penny. Okay. Thank you guys so much. We're coming out to Heavenly Magic with Moon Sky. If you like what you saw tonight, you can rate Liberty Magic on TripAdvisor. I'm gonna go to the hospital, but thank you so much for coming.
Give it up for Moon Sky. And for the hospital.
You want to introduce the next one?
Yeah, are you guys ready for some more stand-up? Yeah! Next comedian coming to the stage, she's hilarious. Please welcome Leslie Cavala.
Hi, how are you guys tonight? Not good, right? Yeah, sure, you were laughing for nothing. All right, so we're just gonna get right into this. I used to have a drinking problem. And I know that's confusing, since I look like someone who irons her kids' pajamas. And then sends them to gay conversion camp. So, I know, it's hard to believe. I think the thing I hated about drinking, though, was hangovers. Yeah, and I figured out, the one thing that made a hangover really bad for me, though, was morning sickness. Yeah, I had a hangover for a week. I was like, what was in that drink? And then I found out I was pregnant. It's like, how long was I blacked out? Long enough. We got a daughter out of that one. We named her Frances, though, so joke's on her. Oh, I was sloppy, too. Like, I would get drunk and puke, and Frances would hold my hair out of my face. Yeah, but that doesn't happen anymore because this haircut's a lot more practical. Better. So, but yeah, I used to get drunk at work and no one would say a word. So that's the best thing about being a stay-at-home mom. You're your own boss. Yeah. So, but I got it under control. I would limit it. I just stopped drinking after 2 because at 3 o'clock you gotta pick the kids up from school, right? Sober hour. Oh my goodness, kids grow up so fast. I miss it when they were little. Or do I? Who knows? I don't remember. I was drunk the whole time. So, but yeah, like I said, this haircut, it was a conscious decision, all right? I went to my barber and I said, I want it short, but not too short because I have 3 cats and I drive a Subaru. So I was like, you know, you throw in the haircut and it's going to be really hard to convince my husband that a threesome with my friend Liz is his idea. And I really know that. So, but yeah, we call this haircut the Transformer because at first glance, you don't even notice me. And then 2 seconds later, middle-aged woman roll out. Strange, you guys are like, Jesus Christ, that lady's about to go fight injustice at the JCPenney customer service. Yeah, more than meets the eye, betcha. I will cut a bitch for a Michael's coupon. Put this away, I don't want to scare anybody. Sometimes I'll catch a glimpse of myself in like a window and I'm like, who's that lady? I hope she doesn't talk to me. So, no, I think I look okay. I mean, I get confused with my teenage kid all the time and he hates that. So, yeah, I'm like, dude, you're the only 15-year-old boy that can get away with using his mom's driver's license to buy beer. Let's be pint glass half full about this, okay? Like, but when you go on a jog, just wear a shirt. I don't want the neighbors calling and complaining about me running topless again. It's not good for the HOA. But, yeah, so I have 2 kids, Francis and Beck. And like we've established, I used to party, so they have 2 dads, 2 different dads. Yeah. So that's 2 kids, 3 adults, and by the principles of sense math, you get negative population growth. So, what do you guys do for the environment? Anybody here recycle? Yeah, you're fucking amateurs. I've been sleeping around for Mother Earth since I was 16 years old. All right? Don't let that high schooler, Greta Thunberg, fool you into thinking that she started this whole teenage conservationist trend. That was me, OG, right here, 1992. The backseat of a Buick LeSabre. Convertible, because I'm classy. So, yeah, I have 2 kids. I'm just gonna keep saying that, guys. It's not because I'm proud of it, it's because it's the only thing I have. It's my identity. Okay, I'm just gonna keep saying it. But I have a friend, she has 2 sons, and the other day she admitted to me that her youngest son is her favorite. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. She's like, wait, you don't have a favorite? I was like, no, I equally hate both your children. What, I get lesser or 2 evils? God bless her for loving one of them. I don't know. But yeah, I couldn't pick a favorite. I mean, I just could not pick a favorite. But the court did. It's my daughter. She's the one I have custody of. That's horrible. That's bad. I was an English teacher. She's the one of which I have custody. Yeah. So, my son, like I said, he lives with his dad. I have custody of one now. But he came in over Thanksgiving. I went to go pick him up at the airport, and it was really late. So I just grabbed his arm, and I was like, let's go. I got a hotel room. And then I realized that the teenage boy that I was holding on to was not my son. Yeah, and by the look on his face, he did not want to get a hotel room with me. I was like, okay, this is embarrassing. It's kind of like whenever you see somebody waving, and then you realize that they're waving at the person behind you, but you're already waving, so you just ask them to have sex with you because now you're a pedophile. That was just lean into it. Yeah. But I did get a hotel room. I did. I got 2 queens instead of 1 king so that my son and I wouldn't have to share a bed. And when I told him, he goes, thank God, I'd rather sleep on the floor than sleep with you. Jesus Christ, I'm 0 for 2 tonight. I don't care who it is, guys. Rejection hurts, okay? So Frances, she's 9 now. She just got her school pictures back. And she asked me if I could put one on my nightstand. I was like, okay, that's not what I want to look at while I'm doing bed stuff. But then I realized she looks just like my husband, so not as awkward as you'd think. The real problem is she's wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles t-shirt. I haven't looked at the turtles in a while, guys. Cowabunga, they are ripped. Okay, that's a fantasy that I kind of like, alright? And then my husband's just confused, and I'm like, just shut up and tie the laundry basket to your back, alright? Just paint on, Sharpie on some abs, call me April, let's fucking do this. And then I just feel gross because they're, teenage. I grew up with them. I mean, should they be the middle-aged Mutant Ninja Turtles by now? Rocking like dad bod? No, they're hot. They're making me feel like a pedophile just for looking at my own kid's picture on It's ridiculous. So, yeah, I will say the one thing that my kids have never done, one of the things they've never done is walk in on us while we're doing our bed stuff. But Francis has knocked on the door and asked for a goodnight kiss. I'm like, well, you might want to rethink that. You don't know what I was just doing in there. So, yeah, I know. I just stuck out my hand. I was like, you just kiss this, sweetie, and we'll both pretend your mother's still a lady. That's what we're gonna do. So, oh, goodness. I am married. I've been married for almost 20 years. Thank you. Most of those to my current husband. So my first husband, I walked in bed with another woman. Yeah, this is typical. I never get invited to do anything fun. Oh yeah, I walked into the bedroom and I was like, listen lady, you need to get a security system because it was not hard to break into your house at all. It wasn't. Everything was open, like the front door, the garage door, my marriage, her vagina, like everything. I was really upset. So I went and I lit some aromatherapy candles and I tried to calm down. And then after I used them to burn down her house, I felt a lot better. Now, we are divorced, but I bore him a son because my ex-husband was English. I was afraid if he didn't, he'd have me beheaded. That's how that goes. It's a Henry VIII joke, guys. Get with it. Read a history book. Oh, goodness. But then I got pregnant and I got remarried in that order because I'm fun. Okay? I was dating and I told my son, I was like, listen, you just be quiet, you go into your bedroom and I'm gonna go into mine and get you a new dad. It worked. It did. My husband, he's a great stepdad. I don't think I could ever be a step-parent because, gross. Someone else's kids. That's disgusting. So, yeah. But he is. We put both of our kids on a plane to their grandma's and my husband looks at me and he goes, Leslie, if that plane crashes, we'll lose half our family. I was like, Mark, that's dramatic. Half our kids aren't even yours. Yeah, I did most of the work in that group project, okay? So, when I married my husband, my son gained 3 uncles, but we were only gonna let him hang out with 2 because, statistically that third one's gonna touch him. That's just how it goes. But you know what? My son gained it. He's like, Mom, Uncle Marty's really cool. It's been 10 years. He's never even tried to touch me, He barely makes eye contact when he sits in the corner and masturbates. So that's my fault, guys. I misjudged him. Poor guy. I'm gonna have to live with that. That's in my heart. So, but yeah, I don't know. I have my husband and my daughter, they get along really well, which is fortunate since they're related, because that's kind of hard sometimes to get along with people that you're related to. But the one thing they love to do together is watch scary movies, like Friday the 13th or Halloween. And then I like to remind him that she's 9. And he says the same thing. He's like, don't worry, I'm covering her eyes. And I said, okay. But he only does it for the sex scenes. That kid's seen so many movies like that when she grows up, only gonna be having sex with her face covered. Then she's gonna expect to be stabbed afterwards. Guys, that's a pretty specific kind of lover. You're not getting too many swipes right when your Tinder profile reads, I want you to hide my eyes like my dad used to. Kid's gonna be stuck on Farmers Only. Thank you guys, I've been Leslie Cavallo.
Leslie Cavallo, everybody.
Great.
Man, we should talk about having sex with her son a lot. Okay.
So anyway, my story is, so I was over this girl's house. It's Christmas, and her mom brings out like this family portrait thing, like
Right.
old photos. And I had got a nosebleed. And I just started bleeding all over it. That's it.
You desecrated Christmas?
No, I didn't mean to, but we broke up after.
Oh, that's cool. Your next comedian coming to the stage, he's hilarious. Alright.
I'm the ghost of Christmas past! No,
Oh,
it's just me. The DJ. Stop music.
alright, fuck you. So here's the thing.
Hello, all my loyal fans and new faces. I'm DJ Catnapper, and I'm here to drop some sick beats. Play the music! Stop music. Yeah, that was hot as fuck. It was beautiful.
By way of explanation, I feel you deserve that. So this is DJ Catnapper. She sort of
Hello.
interrupted our last 3 shows.
What do you got there? Oh, God!
As well as my nephew's christening, a blood drive for the needy, a homeless banquet.
Yeah. That birthday, the quinceañera?
Yeah, no, quinceañeras all around Pittsburgh. She ruined one kid's rumspringa. Let's see.
My nephew's christening?
Oh, do we have the same nephew?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're related. We're split right down the middle. We're both mixed. We were originally we were originally Siamese twins with mixed parents, but we just got split right down the middle.
Yeah.
No, just me! Play the music!
It's that time of year again! Kool-Aid Man, you ready for Christmas? Oh,
She once ruined the Westminster Dog Show.
My second anniversary day.
Your second anniversary. Light up night. She broke all the lights. That's it. She fucked up a yarn factory. Yeah, she's a cat. I should have. That would have been better.
Sure. What else?
Let's see. One time she went to a fountain and drank all the water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What did she say afterwards? She was like,
Well, she did it all by lapping it up. And she said, "Man, do I have a big tongue." Which I don't even know what that means.
I don't know either.
Is it supposed to be sexual?
I don't think so. There's a time she
It's in the
Do we have any security that's going to help us?
Oh my gosh! Is there a disturbance in here?
Yeah,
What's
that's
wrong with you guys?
DJ Catnapper again.
DJ Catnapper again? I got this. I'll find her. Don't worry. I got you guys. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Please enjoy the show. Everything's fine.
It is the season of the heart, a special time of caring, the ways of loving clear.
Man, I am afraid of the dark. If only you guys had some sort of glowing sticks that could even be
Movie Joker. Catch your breath? Are you good?
I'm so glad that you guys are here with me tonight. This song is for you, because all of you are beautiful.
That was DJ Catnapper. Give it up for DJ Catnapper.
She ruined my wedding. That's the last one of those. So,
You guys ready to see another comic?
I don't believe you. Are you guys ready for your headliner this evening? That was good.
Yeah, but I think you can do better, right? You guys.
Are you guys ready for your headliner? Please welcome.
I didn't kill the magician! I swear! I
Mind freak!
She didn't.
I forgot that was happening. I thought she was actually here.
Are you guys ready for your headliner this evening? Please welcome to the stage, Deric Minto!
Okay. That shit was crazy, right? See, I didn't get to see any of it because I was patiently waiting by the door for the past 10 minutes. And you guys missed the real show. Because that lady, DJ Catnapper, by the way, can we give it up to her one more time? Oh, crazy. I got to watch her run through the theater, continuously throwing on outfit after outfit. You didn't see any of the fun. It was a good time. You missed it. Y'all like my blouse? Take it on? Yeah? Yeah? This is the only thing I know about the word blouse. I love saying the word blouse. I love calling shirts blouses, regardless of whether they're technically French blouses. I believe it's a French word. It sounds French. It might be Portuguese. I don't know. If you ever want to mess with a manly man, like a way overly masculine guy who's overcompensating too much, you know, walk right up to him. Maybe when he's hanging drywall or eating chicken wings or whatever the hell he's doing, you know, hanging out with his bros. I don't know. Walk right up to him, just go, "Hey, nice blouse!" And just watch what happens. Because the thing is, that male mind cannot comprehend that information for 3 seconds. You can do whatever you want. They'll stand there stunned, just like, what? And you can do anything. You can sign them up for a bunch of student loans, you know, steal their cat and run. Hopefully they're not physically fit. Otherwise, we won't get very far in the They're like, why are you stealing a cat? I'm like, I don't know, I was crazy. I was crazy. This is fun, this is a good time. If you're visually impaired, I am indeed a fat comic. That's my designation. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm fine with it. If you're not okay with it, that's your problem. That's your own deal. I'm cool with it. So it's the way I've been for a bit. And the other thing that's weird about being a fat comic is that sometimes people say things to you that you do not expect. Like they ask you weird questions that they think you're like a resource on fat people. Like they just ask you really weird questions like, hey! Why are you sweating so much? I'm like, I don't know, because I'm self-lubricating, that's why. Hey! Are you gonna die soon? Yes, that's how it works. That's how it works. How many pieces of pizza have you had today? Shut up, Mom. But this is the most ignorant question. This is by far the most ignorant question. And you shouldn't ask this anyway, which is, how'd you get so fat? Don't ask that to people. I think you both you seem to know, judging by your silence. Sometimes people laugh when I say that. I'm like, you're an asshole. Which is fine. They're learning. But the other thing, I was taught an answer in my youth that you can use in your daily life if anyone asks you that question. So if someone ever says to you, hey, how'd you get so fat? You go, oh, it's easy. Every time I fuck your mom, she bakes me a pie. And you stare. And by the way, feel free to change it up. Say dad, whoever, whatever family member really bothers you. It's 21st century, just pick whoever. It's cool. It's cool about it. And this is the thing, in my entire life, that has always worked. Every single time, except for one time. One time I said it to the wrong dude. He immediately fired back at me. This is what he said. He went, no, man. My mom's a terrible baker. If anything, you only like one or two of her pies at most. Which I thought was a very roundabout way of him saying he was okay with having sex with his mom once or twice. But have you ever had a stock answer that you worked for you all the time, and then suddenly it blows up in your face? I'll tell you what I do when that happens. I tell the truth, because I knew what happened. I knew how I got fat. One time when I was a kid, I went to the Butler County Fair. And I watched a man order 10 corn dogs. Rather than getting a box or a bag, as he got each individual corn dog, he slotted them in between his fingers. So pretty soon his hand became a deep-fried Wolverine carne claw. And though the human body is full of amazement and wonder, one of our restrictions as human beings is that we only have 8 corn dog holsters. So when the 9th corn dog came out of the booth, it became a very tense moment for everyone around them. Like, where's it gonna go? What's gonna happen? You don't know. Oh, the system's breaking down. What is real? A very intense moment. And it's just like this carny had clearly already solved this problem years ago and practiced maneuver hundreds of times. And the carny just reached out and just went. And the man ate it out of her goddamn hand. I watched that man eat all 10 of those corn dogs, and I watched him get back in line and order 10 more. And I remember turning to my sister during that and saying something like, someday I'm gonna be that man. So anyway, that's how I got fat. Most people don't know. They're like, it happened over time. I'm like, no, just one time for me. I saw this thing. Ruined me forever. So delicious. Fantastic. You guys like Italian ice? Italian ice people in the house? What? Okay, good. Sometimes I go places, they're like, what, pray tell, is this Italian ice? And I'm like, it's like someone made a slushie but tried, basically, It's basically what Italian ice is. Love Italian ice. Last summer, this crazy thing happened. I was getting Italian ice. My girlfriend in line, and this fight breaks out in the line behind us between this woman and this child. And the way I would describe this woman is she was basically sitting there in a Def Leppard t-shirt, but from actually when Def Leppard still toured. And it was kind of tied together in the side. And she had a mullet, but somehow underneath that mullet, there was like a beaver tail of hair as well. She was basically the spirit of Western Pennsylvania alive, is what I'm trying to tell you. And her and this child are fighting. This little 5-year-old kid, they both have Italian ice, is just going everywhere. It's getting off of their blouses and slacks and shit. It's crazy. And in the culmination of this argument, this child got down. Or this woman got down in this child's face, and she said the following, this 100% true quote. She got down in this child's face, and she said, because I'm hungry like the wolf, Daniel, that's why! I understand that we live in turbulent times right now. I understand that we're a divided nation. But I think there's one thing that we can all agree on as citizens of the world, and that's this one particular thing. You do not yell Duran Duran lyrics in children's faces. You just don't do that. That's just messed up. You can't do that to a kid. That kid's gonna go to an 80s party 10 years from now and flip the fuck out, and no one's gonna know why. That's the highest my foot has ever gotten. We all know there's 3 songs that are acceptable to yell in a child's face. Maybe you don't, and I'll tell you about it. 1, Poker Face by Lady Gaga. Perfectly acceptable song to yell in a child's face. It's a fun song. It's a good time. 2, Rammstein's critically acclaimed To Hast. Because I feel it's important to instill a fear of Germans early in children's lives. And 3, Tequila. Everyone always agrees with that one. They're like, yeah, that's a fun song. It's only a word. You know, but it's definitely a song where the band clearly forgot all the fucking lyrics of the song though, right? I mean, you don't write a song that way. That's insane. Think about that. You write out all that music, you're like, all right, let's do the lyrics. Tequila. And everyone's like, yeah. That's bullshit. That is not what happened. It was probably this big Friday night show at like the Skylake Lounge, you know, a bunch of record executives in the audience, you know, lots of hot, attractive people. The band's in the back, they're freaking out. They're about to debut their first song in front of all these people. They don't know who are in the back, pounding shots, freaking out. Next thing you know, they're just out in the front of the stage and they're just like, hi, we're the champs. We're gonna do a new song for you. I hope you like it. That's my explanation. I've never heard a better one. I'll take a pause, it's fine. I get real out of breath after that. Lots of delayed breathing. No, that's a fun job. I am a professional stand-up comic. Mostly because I quit my job and I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna do this from now on. Which is fine, but sometimes gotta fill in those bills, you know? Gotta do that kind of stuff. Side hustles, side hussies. As I call them, it's not cool, don't say that. Don't say that to anybody. In fact, come to think of it, I've never said it out loud till right now. It's a terrible decision on my part. No, I sometimes get to drive DoorDash. If you've never got to drive DoorDash, the main difference between driving DoorDash and driving like Uber or Lyft is that the smells in your car are permanent. That's the big one. That's the real big one. And this is the thing, I had this really weird order over the summer, right? This really weird thing happened. Got an order for 1 hamburger. That's insane. That's like $12 worth of feast to get 1 hamburger. And I'm like, because usually when people order, they order 25 hamburgers, they take them to their house and curl up around them like a red dragon around a pile of gold. You know, it's like, we were excited about it. It's not what happened. And I'm like, okay, I go pick up the hamburger from the Burger Kingdom. And I walk out, immediately get a text message that says the following. It says, Dear Sir or Madam, the last 3 DoorDash drivers have been turned away from Presbyterian Hospital. Will you, sir, please bring me a hamburger against my doctor's wishes? And I replied back, because I really did not know what the fuck to do. And I went, are you asking me to smuggle a hamburger into a hospital right now? And she replied back, yes. And I went to work. Because there's one thing that I can do in this world. There's one thing that I can do. Is go anywhere with a hamburger and no one will question me. No one will question that. Everyone's just like, yeah, of course. Some of you might be looking at me right now and be like, where is it? The answer to that is none of your goddamn business. That's the answer to that. It's private. No worries. So anyway, I walk, and this is the very part. I walk through security, I go through everything. I walk past the nurses and doctor station. No one thinks a thing. Big old sweaty bag of hamburger, bring it down, put it down for her. We do some sign language real quick. She's gonna talk, gave it to her, walked out. I'm pretty sure it's the best thing I've ever done with my entire life. I don't think I've ever done good until that moment. So anyway, that was fun. I had another weird experience with DoorDash once. I did deliver to a middle school, and most middle schools are on lockdown, right? Like they're like very much like enclosed kind of spaces. Like, and I immediately get to the door and immediately get busted. And I'm like, that's weird. So I walk right into the the principal's office or like that area. Walk in, this lady's like, no, you aren't supposed to be in here. And I'm like, well, you let me in. She's like, I didn't let you in. I let some fat kid in. And I'm standing there in little shorts and a kind of an ill-fitting blouse. And I'm like, do the students at your school have beards? And she goes, one does. And I'm like, okay, I'll leave. I'm gonna tell you guys a story real quick before I get the fuck out of here. I used to have a real corporate-y kind of job, this company called LSI, and it was awful. I'm not supposed to say the name of it, but I'm not famous, so who cares? It doesn't really matter. And it was just a real boring job, real office spacey kind of crap. And one day, my boss walks over to me, and she says, hey Deric, I need to talk to you about the company dress code. And I'm like, is it because I'm dressing too sexy? Is that what it is? She's like, kind of. And I'm like, okay. So we go over to the side area and she explains to me, she's like, Deric, sometimes you stretch at your desk. I'm like, yeah, I love stretching at my desk because I hate work, yeah. Dude, seriously, dude, stretch out every 15 minutes of work, waste like hours. It's great. Do it. She's like, Deric, whenever you stretch out of work, whenever you hang out, your gut ever so slightly hangs out of your shirt, much like a fat baby. That is not something you want your boss to tell you. That is the last thing that you want to hear from your boss. It was pretty upsetting, right? And so anyway, a couple hours later, I get called down to this big conference room, right? And I'm sitting there just kind of hanging out. And I'm going to assume this is everyone else who's violated the company dress code. I'm like looking at people and I'm like, yeah, maybe you should have another button buttoned. So anyway, there's this folder there, and my name's on it, right? So I open up the folder, and it says, notice of termination from LSI due to blah, 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 blah. And I immediately open it, I look at my boss, and I'm just like so flustered, I'm like, oh my God, are we all getting shit canned? And he's like, no! You weren't supposed to open the folder, we're supposed to be a surprise! And everyone's like, what? Everyone starts opening their folders all at once, and the boss is freaking out. There's people on the conference call, they don't know what the hell's going on. And this was the saddest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And all this ruckus and all this gas, there's this one guy, he's just like, hey, someone talk to me, what's going on? What's happening? Hey, there's a lot of slamming and yelling right now, why is everyone crying? And so you hear someone yell at the phone, it's like, they're all getting shit canned, Gary, that's why, that's what's happening. And he's like, I don't have a folder, and my boss picks up the phone, he's like, yeah, actually, you are getting fired. So we got fired. Then something amazing happened. The government, when you get fired from a job, gives you money. And I didn't know that when I was like 26 years old. I didn't know that's a thing that can happen. So suddenly, the state is giving me unemployment. And I'm like, okay, what should I do with these? Probably pay my rent. Then what? Okay, I will buy all the drugs and alcohol in America. That is exactly what I did. I bought an incredible amount of marijuana on the state side. That's exactly what I did. I had a great time doing it. No complaints about it whatsoever. Year and a half passes, having a great time. And suddenly I'm like, I gotta get a job again. I gotta be a real human being, right? So I go, I apply to this job. It's the old job I did before, but it's like twice the pay. You get like free back massages on Wednesdays, get free hand jobs on Fridays. It's amazing. Like, it's the craziest job in the entire world. And I'm all about this. She's like, Deric, you're great at this. You're very handsome. You wear great blouses. I'm like, thank you. And she says this to me. She says, Deric, all we just need to do is tomorrow, go down to Quest Diagnostics and go get a drug test. And I remember that moment. Because an alarm went off in my head. It went like this. It went, you get the point. Freaking the fuck out. I go home, my two drug-addled comic roommates. I'm like, what am I going to do? How am I going to get this drug test? She's like, you got to get some clean pee. I'm like, okay. Who the hell do I know who's clean pee? So I went to a comedy open mic. That's not, this is the comedy of my very sad place. I don't go. It's awful. I mean, I go there all the time, but you know, look at me. So anyway, so I'm going to comedy and I'm like, oh, and then I see the guy. New guy. Yeah, new guy. Who hasn't been pressed on alcohol yet? Who isn't depressed? Isn't on a bunch of weird drugs? Yeah, and I go to new guy and I'm like, hey, new guy. I'm in a real tough spot right now. Can I get some of your pee? And he's like, yeah, do you want it right now? I'm like, no, calm down, man. Go back to my house with pee in a mason jar. Be cool. So anyway, he goes back to my house, pees in the mason jar. The next morning, I hatch my plan. Take an unlubricated condom, pour the urine into it. Then I take a heat mist bag, like one of those heat packs that you put on your back, wrap it around it. Then I remember that shitty thing my boss said to me before, and I tucked it underneath my baby fat, tucked in my shirt. Boom! You can't tell! You can't tell! Ha ha ha! Fuck yeah, me! I'm super excited about this. Put a little razor blade in my pocket. By the way, this is also part of the story where I usually have to remind people, yes, I know what I did with a piece of shit. Anyway, moving on. So, go, and it's like 98 degrees that morning. It's super fucking hot. I go to get the bus and I realize there's one flaw in this plan. And that is every time that I go anywhere or start moving, I'm making a gentle sloshing noise. So I'm on the bus, and there's this lady and her 2 kids are sitting across from me, and I'm just sitting there just going, and at one point she picked up her kids and went all the way down to the front of the bus, and I heard her say, stay away from that guy, he's broke. So I walk into Quest Diagnostic the second they open in the morning. I'm freaking out. I'm sweating like I am now. I'm freaking out. And the lady can tell that I'm freaking out. She comes around the counter, and the first person, she's doing like a back massage. She's like, baby boy, you're going to beat this test. You're going to get past this. You're going to go on. You're going to do whatever you need to do. Hopefully this test doesn't lead you to going to jail. So I'm like, oh, jail, what? Okay. So anyway, she leads me to the back. She's like, you're good to go. And then she closes the door, so it's slightly ajar. And it's just like, hand the lady the cup. She's like, wow, everything here looks great. Very handsome boy. Wow, you're probably a great life. Then she said, that's weird. And I'm like, what? What did you say? She's like, oh, that's weird. No, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Sometimes this happens. We're just pouring another cup. And I'm like, what? Oh, no. New guy does secret drugs. No! And another alarm starts going off my head to the word fuck, but it's like a battleship singing like fuck, fuck, fuck. And I'm freaking out. She pours in the cup, twists the lid, shakes it, looks at me. Shakes it, looks at me. Shakes it, looks at me. And then she said this to me. She looked me dead in the eyes and she said, honey, I don't know how to tell you this. This piss is 117 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the hottest piss I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've worked here for 20 years. So anyway, I didn't get the job. Okay, so anyone's curious. But I did get kind of a funny joke out of it. You know, the end kind of went, man, but you know, that's what happens sometimes. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Deric Minto. You guys have been absolutely lovely. Have a great night.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for yourselves one more time.
Again, give it up for Leah.
Give it up for Deric.
Leslie.
Everyone, they're all great. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Next show is January 25th.
Yep. We hope you had a good
8 o'clock here.
Yep.
We hope
You've had
a good night.
out.